Looking to live a longer, healthier life? This video is for you. For decades, we've been bombarded with expensive supplements, miracle powders, and anti-aging potions, promising to add years to our lives. But here's what the billion-dollar wellness industry doesn't want you to know. Real longevity comes from real food. Today, I'm sharing the 5 powerful foods that research shows can genuinely extend your lifespan, reduce chronic disease risk, and improve those warning signs of cholesterol, inflammation, and blood pressure. And I won't just tell you what to eat, I'll show you exactly how to select the highest quality options without breaking the bank. These aren't exotic superfoods from remote mountaintops. They're everyday items you can find at your local grocery store, but there's a science to choosing the right ones. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments below and hit that subscribe button for more practical health wisdom. Let's start with what might be the most powerful anti-inflammatory food in your kitchen. 1. Extra virgin olive oil. If I could recommend just one cooking oil to help you live longer, it would be extra virgin olive oil. After 40 years in nutrition research, I've seen trends come and go, but the evidence for this liquid gold has only grown stronger. When we talk about aging, we're really talking about inflammation. Those aches in your joints, the rising blood pressure, the foggy thinking, all signs of inflammation taking hold. And here's where olive oil works its magic. It contains powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called polyphenols, particularly one named oleocanthal that works similarly to ibuprofen, but without the side effects. A landmark study following seniors for over 30 years found those consuming olive oil daily had 28% lower mortality rates. But here's what many doctors won't tell you. Not all olive oils are created equal. Let me share a secret from my Mediterranean travels. The most beneficial olive oils are labeled early harvest. These oils come from olives picked before they're fully ripe, when their polyphenol content is highest. They typically have a peppery kick that might make you cough slightly. That's the oleocanthal talking. But Martha, you might ask, isn't the olive oil at my grocery store good enough? Unfortunately, studies show up to 80% of supermarket olive oils don't meet the standards for extra virgin. They're often diluted with cheaper oils or made from poor quality olives. Here's my practical advice. Look for dark bottles. Light damages those precious polyphenols with a harvest date, not just an expiration date. Single origin oils from California, Greece, or Tunisia are typically more reliable. Yes, quality costs more, but you're investing in your health and you don't need much to reap the benefits. For those watching their budget, here's my tip. Keep 2 olive oils in your kitchen. A good quality one for salads and drizzling on finished dishes, and a less expensive one for cooking. Even lower grade olive oil is healthier than refined oils like canola or vegetable oil. I've seen remarkable improvements in my older clients who make this simple switch. Margaret, 76, saw her arthritis pain decrease within weeks of using quality olive oil daily. John, 82, found his blood pressure medication worked better alongside his new olive oil habit. For cooking, keep the heat medium to preserve those beneficial compounds. At higher temperatures, reach for avocado oil instead. And store your olive oil away from light and heat. That cabinet next to your stove is the worst place for it. What's your experience with olive oil? Have you noticed differences between brands? Share in the comments below. I'd love to know what you've discovered. Now let's move on to our second longevity powerhouse that might surprise you with its affordability. 2. Omega-3 rich fish. When I was growing up, my grandmother called fish brain food. Turns out she was absolutely right. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and anchovies are nutritional powerhouses that can add years to your life and life to your years. These fish are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA and EPA, which are crucial for heart health, brain function, and reducing inflammation. For those of us with a few decades of wisdom under our belts, these benefits become even more important. A 25-year study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that people who ate fatty fish twice weekly had a 35% lower risk of fatal heart disease. Now let's talk about wild versus farm-raised fish. Notice the difference? Wild salmon has a deeper color and typically contains up to 3 times more omega-3s than farm-raised. Farm-raised salmon often receive feed containing antibiotics and artificial coloring. That's why many have that bright orange hue instead of the natural pink-red of wild salmon. But Martha, you might say, wild salmon is so expensive. You're absolutely right, and that's why I want to share my favorite budget-friendly secret: canned fish. That humble can of wild salmon sitting on your pantry shelf contains virtually the same nutrition as the expensive fresh fillets, at a fraction of the cost. Plus, it won't spoil in a few days. A $3 can of sardines delivers an impressive 18 grams of protein and more calcium than a glass of milk, thanks to their edible bones. This makes them especially valuable for women concerned about osteoporosis. They're also one of the few foods naturally high in vitamin D, which many of us become deficient in as we age. For those who take blood-thinning medications like warfarin, Coumadin, here's an important note. While omega-3s are beneficial, keep your intake consistent week to week. Sudden increases can enhance the effect of these medications. Always check with your doctor, but don't unnecessarily avoid these healthy foods. Consistency is key. How much should you eat? The American Heart Association recommends 2 servings of fatty fish weekly. 1 serving is about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly the size of a deck of cards. For those who struggle with chewing or simply don't enjoy the taste of fish, try these simple preparations. Mix canned salmon with a bit of olive oil. There's our first longevity food. And herbs for an easy spread. Or add sardines to a blended soup for nutrition without the texture. I'd love to hear how you incorporate fish into your meals. Do you have a favorite brand of canned salmon or sardines? Or perhaps a simple preparation method that makes these nutritional powerhouses more appealing? Share your tips in the comments. We can all learn from each other. Next, let's look at a colorful group of foods that research shows can literally slow down your brain's aging process. 3. Berries. Remember when berries were just a summertime treat? Now we know these colorful fruits are among nature's most powerful longevity foods. I call them nature's little anti-aging pills, and for good reason. Blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries contain compounds called anthocyanins that give them their vibrant colors and remarkable anti-aging properties. These compounds help neutralize the free radicals that damage our cells and accelerate aging. It's like having an internal cleanup crew working around the clock. The Nurses' Health Study, which followed over 120,000 adults for more than 30 years, found something remarkable. People who ate berries regularly had brains that functioned as if they were 2.5 years younger. That's right. Berries literally slow down your brain's aging process. Here's a little-known fact that could save you money. Wild blueberries contain twice the antioxidants of conventional ones. They're smaller and more intense in flavor, and you'll find them in the frozen section of most grocery stores. Speaking of frozen berries, they're just as nutritious as fresh, often more affordable and available year-round. I always keep bags in my freezer for daily use. For those with diabetes or blood sugar concerns, here's good news. Berries have a lower glycemic impact than most fruits. The fiber in berries, a whopping 8 grams per cup of raspberries, helps slow down sugar absorption while feeding your beneficial gut bacteria. What about your eyes? The lutein and zeaxanthin in berries help protect against macular degeneration, a common concern as we age. My friend Eleanor, at 78, credits her daily berry habit for maintaining her driving independence without glasses. For those with difficulty chewing, try this. Thaw frozen berries until soft, then mash lightly and stir into yogurt or oatmeal. Another option is adding them to smoothies. You'll get all the nutrition without the need for perfect teeth. I'd love to know, do you eat berries regularly? Have you noticed any differences in how you feel or function? Share your experience in the comments below. Now, let's pour ourselves a cup of something special as we explore our 4th longevity powerhouse. 4. Green tea. If there's one beverage that deserves the title of elixir of youth, it's green tea. I've been starting my days with a cup for over 30 years, and the research supporting this habit just keeps getting stronger. What makes green tea so special? It contains powerful compounds called catechins, particularly one named EGCG, that's been extensively studied for its ability to protect our cells from damage. Think of these compounds as tiny shields, defending your cells against the daily wear and tear that leads to aging. The Osoki study in Japan followed over 40,000 adults for 11 years and found something remarkable. Those who drank 5 or more cups of green tea daily had a 26% lower risk of dying from any cause compared to those who drank less than 1 cup. That's powerful evidence. Not all green tea is created equal, though. The tea bags you find in most grocery stores often contain smaller, broken leaves that have lost much of their potency. For the maximum benefit, loose-leaf tea is ideal. The intact leaves preserve more of those precious catechins. Here's how to brew the perfect cup. Heat water to about 175 degrees Fahrenheit, not boiling, that destroys the delicate compounds. Steep for 2 to 3 minutes, and enjoy. The slight bitterness you taste is those beneficial catechins working for you. For those concerned about caffeine, especially if you have heart issues or trouble sleeping, here's my advice. Enjoy your green tea in the morning or early afternoon. A cup contains about 1/3 the caffeine of coffee. For evening options, look for naturally decaffeinated green tea. Avoid those processed with chemicals. Or try caffeine-free alternatives like rooibos that still offer antioxidant benefits. If you're taking medications, especially those for blood pressure or blood thinning, check with your doctor about timing your tea consumption. The compounds in green tea can sometimes enhance medication effects. Not necessarily dangerous, but worth discussing. What about matcha, the powdered green tea that's become so popular? It's essentially the whole tea leaf ground into a powder, offering potentially more benefits than steeped tea. Just watch out for sweetened versions that can negate some of those health benefits. I'm curious, are you a green tea drinker? What's your favorite way to enjoy it? Share in the comments and let's learn from each other's experiences. Now, let's explore our 5th longevity food, one that might surprise you with its powerful impact on your health. 5. Fermented foods. Did you know your digestive system houses over 70% of your immune system? That's right, your gut plays a crucial role in how well you age. This is why fermented foods deserve a special place in your longevity diet. Yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi. These traditional foods from around the world have something remarkable in common. They contain beneficial bacteria that help maintain the delicate ecosystem in your digestive tract. Think of them as reinforcements for your body's defense system. The landmark Stanford study, published in 2021, found that people who ate fermented foods daily increased their microbial diversity and reduced inflammatory markers throughout their bodies. In plain English, these foods help cool the inflammation that drives aging and disease. My client Dorothy, at 82, struggled with recurring infections and constant fatigue. After adding just one serving of fermented foods daily, in her case, plain yogurt with breakfast, she saw dramatic improvements in her energy and hadn't needed antibiotics in over 2 years. For beginners, yogurt is an accessible starting point. But be careful. Many commercial yogurts contain more sugar than ice cream. Always choose plain varieties and add your own berries. There's our third longevity food for sweetness. Greek yogurt offers the additional benefit of extra protein, crucial for maintaining muscle mass as we age. If you find yogurt too tangy, kefir might be your answer. This drinkable yogurt often has a milder flavor and contains even more beneficial bacteria varieties. I like to call it the smoothie nature invented. For those taking antibiotics, fermented foods become even more important. These medications don't discriminate between harmful bacteria and the beneficial ones in your gut. Fermented foods help replenish what's lost, but timing matters. Consume them a few hours apart from your medication for best results. Concerned about making these foods part of your routine? Start small. Just one serving daily can make a difference. Add a spoonful of sauerkraut to your sandwich, enjoy a small bowl of yogurt with breakfast, or replace your afternoon snack with kefir. For the adventurous, making your own fermented foods can be surprisingly simple and economical. Basic sauerkraut requires just cabbage, salt, and a jar. No special equipment needed. Have you tried incorporating fermented foods into your diet? Which ones do you enjoy most? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Next up, we'll tackle a controversial but important food for healthy aging that might surprise you. 6. Quality meats. I know this might surprise you, especially with all the headlines claiming red meat is the enemy. But quality meats deserve a place in your longevity diet. Let me explain why this controversial food group might be misunderstood. There's a world of difference between a processed hot dog and a grass-fed steak. When researchers lump these together in studies, we get misleading conclusions. The truth? Unprocessed, quality meats provide nutrients crucial for healthy aging that are difficult to obtain elsewhere. As we age, maintaining muscle mass becomes increasingly challenging. After 50, we naturally lose about 1 to 2% of our muscle each year, unless we intervene. High-quality protein from meats helps preserve this precious tissue that keeps us strong, independent, and metabolically healthy. Grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken, and naturally raised lamb contain significantly more nutrients than their conventionally raised counterparts. For example, grass-fed beef contains up to 5 times more omega-3 fatty acids and twice the vitamin E of grain-fed beef. It's also one of the best sources of B12, a vitamin many seniors become deficient in as absorption naturally decreases with age. Portion size matters, though. We don't need huge steaks to benefit. A serving of meat should be about the size of your palm, around 3 to 4 ounces. This provides ample protein without excess. Pair it with vegetables, ideally covering 2/3 of your plate, for a balanced meal. For those watching their budgets, less expensive cuts, like chuck roast or chicken thighs can be just as nutritious as pricier options. Slow cooking methods like braising or using a pressure cooker transform tougher cuts into tender, digestible meals while preserving nutrients. These cooking methods also avoid the high temperature charring that can create potentially harmful compounds. My client Robert, at 79, struggled with weakness and fatigue despite being active. Adding small portions of quality protein to each meal, including breakfast, helped him regain strength and energy he hadn't felt in years. What's your experience with meat consumption? Have you noticed differences between conventional and higher quality options? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. We've explored 5 powerful foods that can genuinely help you live longer and healthier. Extra virgin olive oil with its anti-inflammatory properties. Omega-3 rich fish that protect your brain and heart. Antioxidant-packed berries that slow cellular aging. Green tea with its cell-protecting compounds, and fermented foods that strengthen your gut's immune system, along with quality meats to maintain precious muscle mass. These aren't exotic superfoods requiring special ordering. They're accessible options available at your local grocery store. The key isn't finding magic pills or expensive supplements. It's choosing real, nutrient-dense foods that humans have thrived on for generations. Remember, consistency matters more than perfection. Adding even one of these foods to your regular routine can make a meaningful difference in how you age. Start where you are, with what appeals to you most, and gradually incorporate more as you go. I'd love to know which of these foods you already enjoy or which one you're most excited to try. Your experience might inspire others in our community. Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more practical wisdom on living your healthiest life at any age. Next week, I'll share the simple morning routine that incorporates these longevity foods into one delicious breakfast. Until then, here's to your health and vitality.